Everyone saw him do it, but no one moved. Not a single soul stepped forward as the little girl fell, face first, into the dust. Her crutch lay several feet away. The man walked away without a glance. The world seemed to freeze, except for one person. One person who saw everything and knew in that moment, this wasn't just about the girl. It was about all of us. The sun was beginning to dip low in the sky when Maya limped her way down the busy sidewalk, Crutch tucked under her arm like a lifeline. She was only 6, but her spirit could have carried an army. Born with a condition that made her right leg nearly unusable, Maya had faced more hospitals and therapy sessions than most adults did in a lifetime. But she never stopped smiling. Her mother, Anjali, worked 2 jobs, one at a bakery in the early hours and one as a cleaner in the evenings. She had to. Ever since Maya's father had vanished when the diagnosis came in, she had no choice but to become both mother and father. That day, Anjali was running late to pick up Maya from the after-school center. Maya had insisted she could walk the 3 blocks home alone. "I can do it, Mama," she had said with a grin. And Anjali, torn between her shift and her daughter's growing independence, said yes, with a heavy heart and 1,000 whispered prayers. Maya was halfway home when it happened. He came out of nowhere. A man in a dark hoodie, face blank, eyes void of compassion. As Maya maneuvered around a crowd near the market corner, the man approached her. There was no warning. No words. Just a swift kick to her crutch. A cruel, heartless act. The crutch flew. Maya stumbled, twisted, and fell. People gasped. A woman put her hand to her mouth. A street vendor cursed under his breath. A teen even pulled out his phone. But no one moved. Except for one. A boy, maybe 17, who worked part-time at a bookstore across the street. His name was Ariv. He'd seen a lot from the bookstore window. Petty theft. Couples fighting. Even a man once pretending to faint for attention. But this? This was different. This wasn't just cruel, it was inhuman. Ariv dropped the box he was carrying and sprinted toward Maya. He pushed through the crowd, his heart pounding. When he reached her, she was sitting up, dirt on her cheek and tears pooling in her big brown eyes. But still, no cry. Not a single sob. "Are you okay?" he asked softly, kneeling beside her. She nodded slowly. He helped her up, picked up the crutch, and brushed the dirt from her arms. "I'm Ariv. What's your name?" "Maya." "Well, Maya, I think you're the bravest person I've ever met." A few people clapped awkwardly. One woman finally stepped forward and offered Maya a candy. But it was Ariv who stayed with her, who walked her the rest of the way home, who listened as she told him about her dreams of becoming a doctor someday. "To help kids like me," she said. That night, Ariv couldn't sleep. He kept seeing her fall. Hearing the silence of the crowd. Feeling the weight of that moment. So the next day, he did something crazy. He posted about it. Not just a tweet, not just a rant, but a video. A full story. He filmed himself sitting in the bookstore, with stacks of books behind him and the soft hum of the ceiling fan above. He told the story exactly as it happened. He kicked the crutch of a 6-year-old girl and walked away, but we all saw it. And no one did anything. Except one child who refused to cry, and she changed me. The video went viral. Thousands of comments flooded in. Some angry. Some regretful. Some full of praise for Maya's strength. A local news station picked it up. Then a national one. Then a popular influencer donated a brand new set of custom crutches for Maya and offered to sponsor her medical treatments. But what mattered more, far more, was what happened in the hearts of people watching. Weeks passed. Ariv kept visiting Maya. He even helped tutor her when Anjali was working late. He learned that Maya loved space documentaries, hated broccoli, and wanted to learn how to dance. Even with one bad leg, he'd asked. She grinned. Especially with one bad leg. A dance instructor offered to teach her adaptive dance. A therapist offered free sessions. A fund was set up for her future. But even as all this love came pouring in, the question remained, who was the man who kicked her? Surveillance footage was shared. A small-time criminal with a history of violent outbursts. He was found and arrested. It made headlines, yes, but it didn't bring joy. It didn't change what happened. What did change, though, was something quieter. Something invisible but powerful. Ariv School started an initiative called Witness and Act, where students were taught not just to be aware, but to be brave. To stand up. The local community formed a weekly group to help kids with disabilities walk safely to and from school. Strangers began smiling more. Helping more. Watching. Not with indifference, but with intention. 1 year later, Maya stood on a stage. Crutch in one hand, mic in the other. She was being honored by the city for her courage, resilience, and for inspiring a movement. I still remember falling, she said to the crowd. And I remember no one came, except one person. One boy who said my name. That day I learned something, kindness is louder than silence. She turned to look at Ariv in the front row. And I want to spend my life being that one person for someone else. The auditorium erupted into applause. The man who kicked Maya tried to disappear. But what he did left a mark, not on her, but on the world around her. Because what he didn't know was that a single act of cruelty can echo, but so can a single act of kindness. And sometimes, it's not the fall that defines us. It's who stands beside us when we get back up. And that is how he kicked the crutch of a 6-year-old girl and walked away, but we walked towards something better. Together.